Okay, here she is again. Talking head, stringy wet hair and all. All right, I figure I'll come back to you and me somewhat slowly. On the 528, I did three written journals, and I uploaded one, and so I think I'll do the second one, and we'll go from there and just see how things go. It's called Set Mind Aside, Follow Bliss. Enter your divinity while owning your darkness. Well, the previous journal entry flowed along just great. It was lovely watching it come through. Still, it didn't touch where I thought it was going. There's still something in here that wants to be said. Though I'm not sure what it is, let's plow ahead and see if this second journal of the day will bring it out. What am I trying to say? Heck, what am I is a better question than that. I don't know. It's more a feeling than anything mental, than any knowing. The only thing this mind knows is that there have been changes during this seeming illness, and I want to explore that. I've watched some of them happening, but without strength or impulse to write them down. Well, now I'm back, sort of. So let's dig in. What brings you bliss, my friend? Make room for that in your life in some way. Make it a priority somehow. It will help connect you with yourself. It's not an indulgence. Instead, it's connecting with the real you. It's finding and following back the string trail into heart. Find and follow your joy and live in that. You can do this. We all can. Oh, yes, you'll have to leave your allegiance to mind aside. That is true. Mind can't contain the dualities, the polarities, and see them as whole, but heart can. They are distinctly different ways of viewing life, mind and heart, nor do they mix. One can't even take a little bit of mind into heart. The very minute you start thinking, heart ejects you. Thinking is not a heart energy. And you'll have to discover this on your own. I'm just offering a heads up. No one else's attainment or attunement is going to do you a bit of good overall. And sure, you may get some temporary boost from associating with certain ones, beings of light. We have all done that, and it's great. We feel the flow of the divine energy flowing through, and it feels great. It lifts us up, yes, but it won't carry us home. We've got to do that. We've got to cooperate with that light, with that energy. Come into our own attainment, our own heart. Are you waiting to be rescued? Is that you? Even just a little bit, maybe? Come on, give it a fair look. Self-observe. You've got many disappointments ahead as you discover that there's not any vice in the world that's not represented some way within you. And I know that's tough. We all want to think we're somehow better than that. But we're not. Sorry, folks, for the bad news. Somehow in our hypnosis, we manage to forget this. We're all one. We are that, no matter what it is. The outside world, all of it, everywhere, is a kind of mirror reflecting the inside. Can you own that? It's a tall order, I know, but can you at least even allow that it might be so? Can you allow for the possibility? That would be good. That's enough. You don't have to believe it or anything just because I say it here. Don't do that. I don't speak truth. No one does. Can't be done. We all do our best, and sometimes what comes through us resonates with truth. That's the string trail back to higher self, to higher realms. Let's follow it together, but be ever aware we make our own choices. Don't let me or anyone make yours for you. If we didn't have any darkness within, then there'd be none in the world. Pretty simple overall. The outside world is as ugly as it is, due largely to the fact that we've let a dark cabal run our earth for too long. They've gotten their ways through hook and crook, war and cruelty, in terrible abuses of power. That was their way. Well, here's a danger to be aware of, thinking we are holier than thou. Life will take us down a peg or three if we take that way of viewing and thinking on. We are neither the scum of the earth nor these lily white ones we aspire to being. We find ourselves, if we look truly, a combination of both. Yes, we are the divinity I often speak of. Absolutely, we are that. And since all is one, in some way we partake of the fullness of that divinity. There's a thought, but it's a long unfoldment, and it has its ups and downs. We've been in a long trough, touching the bottom for quite a while. Now we're rising up. It's good to own that internal divinity. That's our birthright. Let's not go around being one-sided coins, though. That's no good. Hard to even imagine, much less be. We're not that. Come up higher into heart and find self as the perfect balance or harmony, the two-sided coin. Don't be afraid to look at and into the dark. Don't think, in other words, that the darkness is somehow all outside, all external to you. That's not so. We've all played parts on both sides of the drama, my friends. We'll all find we have dark incarnations too, not just those of light. Why is that? Step into heart and hear the answer, both for the experience itself and to grow and learn, to explore. We're terribly curious, you know, always wanting to expand and explore and to understand the other guy. Don't you find that within yourself, even now? How much of your real self do you have access to at this point? How well do you know you? Have you had experience of both your depth and your height? Be in heart, leave mind out here. spend some time with Dimitri Halley, if you like, to get a better view of this. His YouTube site is Daniela1771. We've got to quit being afraid of the darkness, my friends. It's not evil, just dark. And it's in us as well as out there. So I think it's time we owned up to this. Time to lose the fear and just take a good look. It's not owning our own internal darkness that's got the world in this shape, at least partly. When we don't own it and work through it, we just bury it. Then it must manifest outside, give us a punch in the nose. Life loves us like that. It may not seem so. On the surface, it isn't like that, but that's just the surface and the seeming. That's not ultimate reality. Go within. Life is deeper, so much deeper than what we see displayed before the senses for our view. Find life, real life, in heart. It's totally different than anything mind could dream up. Trust me, just for a moment on that. A long enough moment to have the experience yourself. You've got to allow, or these things won't become a part of your reality. You've got choice to exercise here. You make the decisions and create the life that is yours. Take control, conscious control. We're becoming more conscious. That's the best way I can describe it right now. Simply more conscious. We're becoming aware, self-aware of so much more. The reality, my friends, is that the world, the whole cosmos, is one big self, one big I am. I am that, and so are you. But that's way too much for mind to bear. Mind simply can't go there. And don't try to force it, would be my advice. Just let it go. Let it do its own thing. You go your way. And I know this sounds probably crazy to some. Well, you're in mind. If you were listening from heart, your experience would be different. Until we all disentangle, disidentify from the mind, we're trapped, self-trapped. It's your choice. I'm presenting alternate choices for you here, but it remains up to you. How much can you let go of to have this experience, to test it out? How far can you fly? Let loose your moorings. Be a Jonathan Livingston seagull. Take off and fly. No, of course, it won't be easy. It wasn't for him. Divine isn't interested in easy, you know. That's a joke. And yet, the divine humor is never more evident than when you've surrendered a good lot to find nothing but ease there. It's uncanny, rather bizarre. You won't take my word for this, and that's fine. The experience is there to be had. We just have to slog through the hard first. That's required. No shortcuts. Sorry. And that's the end. I don't know. What do I think of this? It's so hard to know, integrating the dark and the light. Of course we choose light. I mean, maybe that's why darkness is presented to us to goose us in a way and to help us claim our divinity. But I don't know, in some way to me, what's sacred isn't so much light as balance. Light is information. Light informs us. But I don't think light is the ultimate. I don't see light identified with and as love. I see it as a manifestation of that. And this is the divine love, which is so far beyond human comprehension that the mind is useless for this. I don't hate the mind, folks, even though it seems that way sometimes. I really don't. It's a useful tool. It just needs to be taken out of the driver's seat in our life, that's all. And once it is, then things go along just fine, and your mind isn't pushy anymore, and your spirit has taken the reins of control. And, mind will eventually be willing to be subject to that. But maybe it takes a while, maybe it takes a long while because mind is so tricky. It's almost as if it is the manifestation of the Illuminati within us. I'm not saying that's the way it's meant to be, but in the fallen state, if you will, in the 3D realm, it's as if the level of mind has been co-opted by the dark. And like I say, this isn't the perfect manifestation. And I don't even, know that it was meant to be this way. But the way it is here and now, mind, unless it's under the rule of heart and subject to that, if we're letting mind run the life, then we're subject to being played with, manipulated, deceived, and milked for our energy. Okay, that's enough. Good day.